You are listening to Viewpoints from PlaceCloud. Cultural researchers tell stories of places from around the world. For the full multimedia experience and to support the creators you enjoy, visit placecloud.io.
It's the 17th of November in the year 1590, and you are walking down Whitehall. You can hear the roar of a crowd thousands of people strong. A hush falls, then the sound of thundering hooves, the smashing of wood on metal, a splintering sound, and a cheer. You follow your ears and find yourself in the Whitehall Palace tilt yard, which once occupied a large stretch of this western side of Whitehall. This was the jousting yard of Whitehall Palace. It's a couple of 100 metres long, divided lengthways down the middle by a wooden barrier. On one side, a cascade of platforms and staircases lead up to a long gallery. Here sits Elizabeth I with her ladies, looking down into the yard, observing the competition below. The competitors are knights, like something from a fairy tale. They wear bespoke, highly decorated suits of armour, made for them just a few miles away in the Royal Armoury at Greenwich. The metal surfaces are decorated with gilded symbols, suns, fleur-de-lis, and knots. They glint and glitter in the autumn light. Each time one of the knights comes up to joust, his servant approaches the base of the staircase and presents the queen with a shield made of pasteboard or papier-mâché. On the shield is a symbol known as an impresa, a combination of word and image which, if you know how to interpret it, expresses something about the competitor's life, in particular their relationship with the queen. As you watch, a servant approaches the platform carrying a shield painted with the sun, earth, and moon in alignment. The words hasta quando are written underneath. The servant reads a speech explaining the meaning of this symbol. The knight will be the queen's devoted supporter until the end of days. At a distance, you can see the knight himself on horseback. He carries a long white lance, his hair dark and flowing. His suit of armour is covered in stars, and over the top a white tunic decorated with further cosmic images. He carries his helmet under one arm, and in his plumed hat he wears a jewelled glove, symbolic of the Queen's favour. This is George Clifford, 3rd Earl of Cumberland, the Queen's champion. It's the champion's job to organise these tilts, a highlight of the Elizabethan calendar. They are held every year to celebrate the anniversary of the Queen's accession to the throne. This is Clifford's first year in charge. His predecessor, Henry Lee, just retired after 30 years of service. Clifford looks about him haughtily. Today he hopes to prove himself in the fight. Clifford's servant finishes his speech and offers the Queen an expensive present. But you're too far away to see what it is. Then Clifford rides away to joust. A hush falls. His competitor comes to the barrier at the opposite end of the yard, wearing silver armour and riding a black horse. The opponents put down their visors and ready their lances. Then, at a signal, they set off, thundering towards each other down the long line of the barrier. The aim of the joust is not to kill your opponent, merely to knock him off his horse or break his lance against your armour. But jousting could still be dangerous. In 1559, Henri II, the King of France, died after a wooden splinter from a lance entered his eye through his open visor. And it is rumoured that the accident in 1536, which knocked Elizabeth's own father, Henry VIII, unconscious for more than 2 hours, permanently altered his personality for the worse. But now the knights clash. A cheer goes up from the crowd and the silver knight's lance shatters against Clifford's starry armour. The Queen's representative is victorious. The tilting ends at 5 p.m, and when the crowds disperse, the papier-mâché shields that the knights have presented to the Queen are taken away. They are installed in the waterside gallery inside Whitehall Palace, and here they remain for many years as a memorial. It's 1590. Elsewhere in the world, there's a classical renaissance in full swing, but here the court is immersed in a culture distinctly medieval, a culture of chivalry and courtly love, Ah, you might say to yourself, England always has been a nostalgic backwater. Well, not quite. Elizabeth is playing a difficult game. She's a single woman, ruling alone, and she needs to control the ambitious men who surround her. By deliberately cultivating a chivalric atmosphere of courtly love, she drives courtiers to compete for her favour, an untouchable lady of medieval romance. This heady atmosphere of ornament and symbolism isn't simply the symptom of a culture stuck in the past. It is all part of Elizabeth's strategy for keeping control. We know what the tilts looked like because the costumes and shields were described by visitors and recorded in portraits. Miniature portraits were especially popular with competitors who wanted to record their role in the tournament. A rectangular portrait of George Clifford, now in the National Maritime Museum, shows his starry armour and embracer shield just as I have described. He stands under a tree, and in the distance we can just make out the site of his victory, the Palace of Whitehall, where we are now standing.